I lived in a chest for my daughter. I waited for the neighbors to go out. I hoped nobody would condemn me for the theft. My daughter refused to eat and started fading away. I knew what the cause was and how to fix it. For my daughter, I had to commit a crime. I waited for the neighbors to go out. Inside was what could bring Millie back to life. Millie's mom gave her that toy before passing. Millie cried when the teacher took the toy from her.
All the kids swap their toys, and you should too.
That's how Ben taught the kids not to be selfish. Millie lost the toy that had replaced her mom's hugs. I would trade anything for that toy.
Now it's my daughter's favorite toy. Get out of here.
I hoped nobody would condemn me for the theft. I was still there when the neighbors returned. From inside the chest, I witnessed something awful. Ben turned out to be a domestic abuser. His wife needed to be saved, but I stopped. If I got out, I'd be arrested for breaking and entering. But would Millie be proud of me? If she knew I didn't defend a woman? Ben went too far, and I stopped him. We had a fight. Ben didn't back down. Call the cops! But who would Ruth side with, the savior or the tyrant?
A thief broke into my house and attacked my wife.
No, I was saving her from this wife beater. I couldn't believe it. Ruth took her husband's side. The toy stayed in that house. Then I saw a clue to the mystery of my wife's death. They let me out on bail, but they took Millie.
We won't leave the girl with a dad like you.
I had to prove I wasn't a criminal. But first of all, I had to comfort my daughter.
They took me because you don't love me anymore?
I love you. I'll get you back. What were Mom's last words?
Mommy said it's a woman with a scar on her neck.
The neighbor's wife, Ruth, had a scar like that. I risked my freedom and sneaked into their garage. A piece of fabric was on their car. My wife wore that dress at the time of the accident. Ruth had to confess she was the one who hit Anne.
Please, forget about that accident.
I realized why Ruth didn't want an investigation. On the day of the accident, she had a cast on her arm. So her crazy husband was driving. But why did Anne mention a woman with a scar? The answer was in the chest. There was a USB drive. But Ben moved the drive. The search was fruitless. He fixed his car and made me look like a fool. Help came from where I least expected it. With her eyes, Ruth showed me where to find the USB. The video cleared everything up. On that day, Ben tried to kill Ruth. My wife saved her at the cost of her own life. But why didn't Ruth want to punish her awful husband?
Ben threatened me. I was afraid to go against him. I kept the USB drive a secret from him.
Ruth should not have had to live with that tyrant. Then my wife would still be alive. Ben got what he deserved. And I got my dear daughter back.
Your family saved my life twice.
Are you sure your neighbors are good people?